what I understand of the encyclical is that it really grew out of concern for the poor that we have heard from this Pope from the very beginning. That's, I think, the leitmotif of his whole papacy. And as such, I think it's a very noble and worthwhile effort. But I also understand that one of the main issues that he sees as a cause for that poverty and that he wants to start addressing is global warming. And I rather wonder who are the people who have advised the Pope and guided him to this assumption, because I'm personally not so convinced that global warming is something, on one hand, that we really understand very well yet, and there have been models built to try and understand it. I think they're still pretty simple, to be honest, compared to the huge complex problem of global climate. And none of those models, for example, explains why over the last 15 years temperatures have not increased but have been stable. And so we need to improve our knowledge. We need to improve these models. And I think, on the other hand, if you look at poverty, there have been efforts made to try and prioritize things as to what is the most effective things that we can do to reduce poverty. For example, has been something called the Copenhagen Consensus, where some of the best economists in the world, several Nobel laureates, tried to prioritize how to spend a limited amount of money to really help the poor. And the primary issues were things like clean water and better nutrition and trying to reduce the use of bad fuels with poor ventilation in the house where you get lung diseases. And I think if we focused on things like that, we could save millions of lives in a few years, while there is no hope of doing that through this global warming thing. And while we are, in the meantime, gaining knowledge on global warming, improving our models, and then if we would see that it's still really such an urgent issue, we will be richer by then and more capable of taking care of these things.